HOAs, you probably love them or hate them, but if you're looking into moving into Orlando, you're probably going to be paying them. But let's say you say, I'm not paying an HOA under no circumstance. Well, in today's video, we're going to be looking into some non-HOA areas that might be attractive to you for various different reasons. And then stay till the end because we're going to also look into some areas that have relatively inexpensive HOAs that you might like as well. Stay tuned. All right, so let's start with where we are right now, which is going to be downtown Winter Garden, more specifically the city of Winter Garden. So the north section, Horizon West's older brother. And so in terms of proximity, you're about 20 to 30 minutes to Disney, about 30 to 40 to the airport. And what's super cool about downtown Winter Garden is the amenities here. It's so amenity rich, just right in the heart of it all. And so you have the restaurants, you got bike shops to head on to the West Orange Trail. You have just tons of things to do here. You got the farmers markets, the theater, Plant Street Market. It's just overall a very well-rounded area. And so let's dive into the types of homes you can get in this area of all different price ranges to maybe pick out which one might be best for you. And so the real estate, and I think you'll appreciate this, it has diversity both in architectural style and also in price range. And so if you're in the 3s to maybe mid 4s, you're going to be looking at somewhat of an older home. And I'm gonna try not to die here, so let's actually walk across the street. If you're in the price range of the 3s to maybe mid 4s, what you're gonna find is, like I said before, older homes, and they're typically gonna be between the 1930s to 1980s. They're either gonna be one of two things. They're gonna be in need of some TLC, whether that's cosmetic or say a major repair item like a roof, plumbing system, electrical, or it's gonna be fully renovated, which is super cool, but you're not gonna get the cookie cutter box that so many people hate about Orlando new construction. And so moving on from the mid 4s, closer to maybe the 6s, you're gonna see these homes now in the 2000s, and you're probably gonna be able to get a pool, which is super nice. And these ones are gonna be, again, either fully renovated or you're gonna need to maybe spruce it up if you prefer a more modern interior. So it really just comes down to what your preference is, but in terms of price range, you do have flexibility here in downtown Winter Garden. Now, let's say you are a bit higher on the scale. You're looking closer above 600s, maybe a little bit over $1 million. You're probably gonna get one of two options. One is gonna be with an HOA, so you have Oakland Park not too far away, or it's gonna be a relatively inexpensive HOA area, maybe from $0 to $150 a month. Or you're gonna find one on the outskirts of downtown Winter Garden that's gonna have probably an acre of land and fully built. So it sounds cliche, I know, but it's gonna boil down to your taste and preference, whether that's from a price range perspective or an architectural style perspective. But what's really cool is that downtown Winter Garden probably has something for you. All right, and so the second area or areas that you might find non-HOA communities is gonna be the downtown area, more specifically College Park and Delaney Park. And so the zip codes are gonna be 32804 and 32806 respectively. And what I really love about this is, like, unlike downtown Winter Garden, to where once you sort of get past the 600s, you're gonna find communities with relatively inexpensive HOAs. You're really hard pressed to find any community in these areas with an actual HOA, which I think a lot of people would love. There's a strong local scene in that area. You got the booming Soto district with tons of restaurants, shops, just a really nice area overall. You have the parks nearby. You're close to Winter Park and Park Ave and all that they have to offer. You're close to Baldwin Park as well. You're about 30 to 40 minutes to Disney and maybe about 30 to 35 to the Orlando International Airport. And so let's dive into the types of homes that you might find in College Park or Delaney Park. All right, and so if you're looking in the 3s to 5s, it's gonna be pretty similar to the homes in downtown Winter Garden. So they're either gonna be in need of TLC or they're gonna be completely renovated. You are having a bit more of architectural diversity here in the College Park and Delaney Park areas compared to downtown Winter Garden. And you're also gonna have more units as well because it's obviously covering a larger area. And so as you step out into the 5s to mid 8s, what I love about these areas, man, is just the real diversity of architecture. Mid-mod, farmhouse, craftsman, Victorian, modern, just everything you can think of. They have a home that looks like it. It's definitely not cookie cutter, which seems to be a theme of these non-HOA regulated communities, which I think a lot of people will enjoy. And the cooler part is, if you have a more expensive budget, you can actually get lakefront under $1 million right off Lake Conway. And so I think these areas are a great option if you're looking for more value for your money. You still get a good location. Like I said, you have private schools, you have everything that all these other areas have. You're just in the downtown Orlando area, which if you love downtown Orlando with the shops and all that's going on over there, then that might be a really cool spot to look at. So make sure, if you don't want to be in an HOA, we should definitely be looking at College Park or Delaney Park. So the third one is going to be Winter Park, and you guys know my Winter Park video. I love Winter Park already, but one thing a lot of people don't know is that the 32789 area of Winter Park really has mostly non-regulated HOA or non-HOA regulated communities. And so if you're looking for anything from the threes all the way up to multi-millions, and I think this is where Winter Park really thrives. And so if you want lakefront, you want to be in the Villas, the popular Winter Park neighborhood where you're spending over $2 million, then this might be a really great area to do so. But if you're still in the mid-5s to mid-7s, you can be expecting something different on every street. That's what Winter Park is really known for. When you're buying Winter Park, you're buying the local scene with Park Ave and the Michelin recommended and star restaurants and the art museums. And if you like golf, you can go play on the Winter Park 9. Winter Park is really an experience. But what's really cool is, again, like all the other areas we've talked about so far, really depending on your price range, which can be broad, you're gonna be able to find something for yourself. And I think that is amazing when you think about the value that you get for living in Winter Park. And so let's dive into maybe some honorable mentions that not necessarily you'll see no HOA, but it's gonna be relatively inexpensive. All right, and so for our honorable mentions, it's gonna be Davenport. Certain pockets in Davenport, especially 33837, usually have relatively low HOA communities, and by low, I'm typically talking under $100 a month. And then you're also gonna have Kissimmee, and Kissimmee is quite large, so I can't necessarily pinpoint a certain zip. However, I will say parts in Kissimmee do have relatively low HOAs. But here's the thing, I know HOAs for some people are a pain, but there are pros and cons to having or being in an HOA community. But if you absolutely do not want to live in one, there are options in Orlando for you. And so if you're interested in possibly exploring those options a bit more, and you're looking to buy a home here in Orlando, I'd love to partner with you as your real estate agent. So you can reach out to me, email, text, call, or book a time through my Calendly link, all of which will be in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Hit the like and hit the subscribe button. Follow me over on Instagram at Orlando with Mario. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. But until then, stay safe.